Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we're mixing it up a little with the gameplay. I have some footage from Star Wars Battlefront from 2004. And yeah, recently I've been playing a lot of games from a long time ago. I've been playing games from the Xbox 360 era and even the original Xbox, which is what this game is on. Although I am playing it with backwards compatibility. But yeah, I've been playing games from before I was born. If you can't tell, I am pretty young. And yeah, that's kind of what I want to talk about. I want to talk about how I wasn't really around for the games that came out back then. For a lot of games, I wasn't born yet, and for a lot, I was an infant. And yeah, I mean, it does kind of suck to be born into the era of, modern gaming that we have now, where gaming kind of sucks. And yeah, I didn't get to have that experience of playing games like Call of Duty or Halo when they were in their golden age, or Star Wars games like you're watching. Although I did actually grow up playing Halo. I grew up playing the classic Bungie games and Call of Duty games from back then, but it's still not really the same, and I don't want to sound like I'm complaining. I mean, I am very grateful that I grew up playing Halo with my brother and his friends and our cousins. For Halo, I don't really feel like I missed out on that much, besides obviously the online multiplayer. But I don't think that's as important for Halo compared to Call of Duty. But the other thing is the hype around the game. Obviously, these games were old when I was playing them, and nobody was really talking about them. Like, I'll hear about how people would talk to each other at school about Halo, and I didn't really have that. Like, I'm talking about, like, people that I watch on YouTube. I'll hear, like, stories like that. But again, I'm still very grateful for what I did have. But for Call of Duty, this is where I really did miss out, because these games were way past their prime, and I didn't really have that multiplayer experience. Although I did actually play Call of Duty 2 and Call of Duty 3. These games were rated teen, so these were the first Call of Duty games my parents would have let my brother and I play. Or at least Call of Duty 3, as I'm not 100% sure about Call of Duty 2. But yeah, Call of Duty 2 has an amazing campaign. I played that when I was little, and I still cherish that memory. And the same thing with split-screen multiplayer on Call of Duty 3. I actually liked Call of Duty 3's campaign as well. I know a lot of people on the internet like to hate on Call of Duty 3's campaign, but I really liked it. Maybe it was because I was a kid, but who knows. But yeah, I was born way too late to experience these games, and really just the golden age of gaming in general, like when it was during its prime. But like I said, I still did sort of grow up playing games from that time. I don't really know why. Maybe it was because the older games were cheaper to buy at GameStop than the new ones. And like I said, the old Call of Duty, I mean like the original 2 and 3 were rated teen, so that had something to do with it. But yeah, I always played old games, and I don't really know why for certain. And it's easy to complain about how I was born too late to experience them in their prime, but I'm just happy that I grew up playing them at all, and I'm happy that I always had that affiliation towards older games, you could say. And I still play old games, as you can see in the gameplay you're watching. But yeah, I did sort of grow up with old games, at least a few, but there was still so much that I did miss out on. And I'm not old yet. Like, I guess you could still say that I'm in my youth. I mean, I'm still a kid, but I'm not really sure if I'm still in my, formative years. And I don't really know if it's the same as just experiencing them as I was growing up. Like, just naturally playing them and experiencing them, instead of going out of my way to buy and play these old games because I want to play what I missed out on. It's not really the same thing, but like I said, I'm not really an adult yet either. I am in high school, but, like I said, it's not really the same as just experiencing them naturally while growing up. I'm trying to do what I can to play the games that I want to while I'm still young, but there's still so much that I want to play. There are so many games that I want to play that are old, and like that I want to be able to look back on and remember how I played them when I was young. I don't really know if that's weird or if I should be doing that kind of thing. And again, I don't know if it's too late at this point to have that experience of playing certain games during your formative years. I don't really know, but I'm doing what I can. And it's not like I'm forcing myself to play games that I don't really want to. Even if I didn't care about playing these games when I'm young and being able to look back and like have nostalgia for them, these are still games that I want to play. I still want to play them even without that as a factor playing into it. But yeah, like I said, I don't really think it's the same thing, but I'm doing what I can to play these games when I'm young. And I actually did like the numbers on it. I used the website How Long to Beat to calculate how long it would take to beat the games that I want to play as a kid, and if I wanted to play them all in a year, I would have to play a little over an hour a day. And that is doable, but still, I mean, a year is a long time. And I don't know if that's 100% accurate, maybe it'll be a little bit less, but one of the games that I have on the list is Call of Duty Zombies. I've always wanted to get into Call of Duty Zombies and like know all the maps, and I want to do that during my youth. But Zombies isn't on the list on the website, so I don't really know how long that's going to take. I could look it up now that I think about it. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I didn't get to experience the golden age of gaming, but I'm trying to do what I can to still have that experience that other people had of playing those games when they were kids. Is it too late to do that? Maybe. Is that kind of a weird thing to do? I don't really know. But if you're curious, the games that are on my list are the Star Wars Battlefront games, which you're watching. This is the first one, but I want to play the second one as well, and I've heard that the second one is a lot better. Lego Indiana Jones and Lego Star Wars. These are two that I don't really know about. For these two especially, it might be too late, but who knows? We'll see what happens. Star Wars Republic Commando, I actually just finished playing. I actually loved that game. But after the Battlefront games and the Lego games, I want to play Skyrim. Hopefully I'll get to it. I mean, like I should get to it by winter break. Especially because the Battlefront games are kind of weird. Like I'm already almost done with the first one, and it's been like 2 or 3 days. So I don't really know how accurate the website is with how long it takes to beat them. And there are like separate game modes. I mean, at least for this one, there's not really a campaign. There kind of is, but I already beat both of them. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I mean, that's not really what the games are about, at least I don't think. And there's Galactic Conquest, which I tried, and I don't really know if I'm gonna play that. Because I don't want to like force myself through something that I don't really want to do. Because then I'm gonna look back on it, or like when I do look back on it, it's not gonna be very fondly. So I'm thinking I'll play Battlefront 1 for another day or two. There's a game mode called Instant Action where you can just play the battles on whatever map you want. So I'll do some of my favorite maps, and there are some that I haven't seen yet. And then I'll move on to the Lego games and Battlefront 2, and then Skyrim. I'll probably get to Skyrim well before winter break, but that's fine because the game is so huge. The website says it takes 100 hours to beat it if you do side content. Again, I don't know how accurate that is, but we'll see. I'll try to do, for that game specifically, like as much side content as I can, and really just get into the world and the exploration. Just the idea of being lost in Skyrim on winter break just sounds amazing, especially because it is a snow game. I actually got that idea from a video by BBK Dragoon. I haven't actually watched it, but that idea just sounds amazing. And then after that, going way back in terms of the game when they came out, I have Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9. This is another one that I'm not too sure about because it's a completely different type of game than I've ever played, but hopefully I like it. And then I have Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. I've heard people like these games a lot, so I want to try them out. After that I have Hollow Knight, and this isn't really an old game, but I just want to play it and play it during my youth. And then Zombies, like I said, and then I want to replay the Souls series. I have played them before, but I want to really get into it and play them all again, like seriously play them, because a lot of the time I would just play them while watching YouTube, or I would do duplication glitches, and that's just not doing them justice. I want to really play them, and like I said, I have played them before, so that will definitely skew the time it takes. I don't think it's going to take me 40 hours to beat Dark Souls or Demon Souls. I mean, we'll see what happens. Maybe Dark Souls will take me that long, but I don't see that happening for Demon Souls or Dark Souls 3. But yeah, that's all of them. Like I said, I don't know if it's really the same experience as playing these games while growing up. And I don't know if this is like a weird thing to do or a weird thing to think about, but I just wanted to have that experience of playing games like these when I'm a kid. And it might be too late, especially with how many games there are. Like I said, it's going to take a year to play them all, and I wish I could play all of them now, or ideally a few years ago. But yeah, I've been rambling for long enough. Thank you very much for spending this time listening to me, and thanks for making it to the end. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, a like or subscribe would be appreciated if you want to help out the channel. And I will see you later.